Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to the Happy Earth Market podcast. Today's show is brought to you by Happy Earth Market, Love Through Living, and Arizona Indian Jewelry, also in partnership with Natural Awakenings, Greater Las Vegas Magazine. On this show, we have the very talented and highly driven comic, Gabriel Castillo. We talk about how he got his start, his comedy, his favorite books, authors, and even touch a bit on conspiracies and change. Lots of good information in this, and words to live by on this one, so yeah, hope you enjoy. Thanks.
Hi everybody, I'm Gabriel Castillo, and you are listening to the Happy Earth Market podcast. Boom! Love it! Ah! Gotta give him a kiss.
What are we talking about?
We're talking about Audrey Hepburn.
Who are we?
Hi everybody, you're listening to Happy Earth Market podcast.
Yes.
Welcome, I'm Sam.
I'm Nathan.
I'm JR.
And special guest, world-renowned, or Las Vegas-renowned, San Antonio or Austin-renowned comic.
Gabriel Castillo.
Welcome.
Absolutely.
Welcome to the show, brother.
I love to be here with you guys, man. It's great. I love this place. Love the Happy Earth Market. Awesome,
We love it
man.
too. Thank you. Sometimes it's the tense Happy Earth Market, but it's always happy.
Wait,
Oh man, that's funny.
Tense,
I used to
tense.
work at a comic book store, and the comic book guy, the guy who owned it, he would tell me, he'd be like, "Yeah, underneath the happy comic book facade, it's just a store with like demands and deadlines and things that need to get done."
Yeah.
It's still a store,
of work.
man. It's a lot of work. We thought we were going to start this thing for fun, and it turns out it's a ton of work.
Yeah,
And
so
it's
much work.
too much work for one person. Like, it's literally like 10 people's work, I think.
Yeah.
There's the proud five.
And that's why they say like a part of leadership is being able to delegate responsibility.
I always think leading from the front's the right way. Like, here I am working my ass off, do the same.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. But I mean, like I think understanding one's limitations and like understand like plays a big factor in leadership, because like you can know you can know something about yourself and be like, well, I'll just let this person deal with that because they're clear, like they might be more well equipped, even though my my need to be a part of it and be hands on might be overwhelming me. Like, my logic says that like this person might be better for it.
You're
But-
talking about ownership.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
got to
Or
do
just
something.
being-
Just keep talking.
Ownership of
Yeah,
stuff,
and then being
yeah.
a good leader, because being a good leader is also knowing when maybe you should not be leading,
Taking full ownership,
taking
yeah.
full like leadership in something, and that's part of that, being a good, delegating responsibility.
It's hard to be a leader because so many people are different on what motivates them,
Yeah.
Like, and some people are so silent on what motivates them. You're like,
That's why you got to study people. You got to watch them. People are always telling you. People want you to know who they are and what they need. Just rarely do people pay attention to that. And when you can really like pay attention to people and allow them to tell you like who they are and what they need, like they'll tell you all the time, every day and every moment of the day. People are telling you exactly how to treat them.
right.
It's tough to attune yourself to those things, because a lot of time we ourselves are so caught up in our own seeking of attention, or just need for things, or just juggling
Validation.
or just juggling around our responsibilities in life, that we're not always paying attention to the things that might just be right in front of our face.
Right. Right. Are we going live? What is
Just live audio. I found out we could do just live audio on the podcast page, so let's see what happens. I don't know. It's there. Don't worry about it. Yep. It's the first step towards doing live, so
that? Right on.
here we go. I just want to make sure that I can be heard and you can be heard. So we were talking about before, and I've always wanted to ask open micers and people coming up, like, has there ever been a mic that you went to go on and you're like, oh my god, this mic smells so bad, that dude's breath was horrible?
Honestly, I think I'm so caught up in just executing the material.
Sure.
And that I don't even think about. People have told me like they'll be like somebody else will go up and they'll be like, I don't want to use this mic. It fucking smells. And I'm just like, dude, my mind wasn't even there, dude. Like, I'm so caught up in like just trying to be entertaining that like I think that like there could be a fire behind me and I just wouldn't even notice. I'd just be like, just please fucking laugh.
That's
Yeah, I'm really
awesome.
hosting open mic. I'm really conscious. Like when I'm sick, I don't use the mic, and you know what I
Yeah.
mean. Like, and hosting an open mic is a lot different.
It's really hard.
It's really hard. Like, I got to be an MC. I'm really trying to take that role on now. Like, okay, now that we're starting to get more people here, people like, I got a couple complaints like, hey, when am I going to go on? I'm like, oh shit. Well, I was just letting people rap. Like,
Yeah, no, I mean, and that's a part of the evolution of anything. But yeah, no, I mean, MCing's a real gig. Like that's
Absolutely.
why at any comedy show there's an MC. Like there's a guy who gets paid, or
the
hopefully
host.
he's getting paid. There's a guy whose responsibility is to get on stage and crack the crowd, make sure that make sure they're kind of like they get settled
happy,
in,
totally happy.
Yeah, and then also, like, a big part of the MC's job is like whatever energy that performer creates, if it's good, like to be able to get up there and run with that energy. And then if it's bad, you got to be able to go up there and dispel it.
Dispel it. Get out of your bad energy, man.
Look, and sometimes that means like sometimes you got to in comedy at least, you got to sometimes throw the performer under the bus.
Okay.
And you're not doing it because you don't like the performer. You're doing it because you got to shake that off the crowd.
No, totally.
Like you might get on and you might be like, oh, what the fuck was that? We're gonna start the comedy portion of the show, and then
just to break the ice.
You break the ice again. The crowd's like, oh, okay, it's okay to laugh, and like because that dude was kind of weird.
I was sucked.
I really am excited because I'm excited to watch you because you're coming up and you come in here and you just work shit out and you work it out and you work it out.
Yeah.
It's fun to watch, and I'm really excited to see some of these other bits that you're developing turn into bits.
Yes, yes. Dope. And this is kind of the place that this is what this place is for me in my head.
I hope it can
is
be
my
that for a lot of
comedy
people.
is that gym where like I come into, and this is where like I'll bring in new ideas and I'll start to like work with them and like out with the audience, and I mean and because it's a supportive place, and also because I feel comfortable in this space to kind of talk things out that I might not feel so comfortable like
doing in front of strangers.
or just in front of people where the energy is different. The energy might be different, and like and the key to good comedy, I feel, is like bringing those intimate things to the forefront. I think when you do dry material, like when I do like a joke about like, oh, and dolphins do this and it's kind of funny, like that's funny, yes, people react to that, but I feel there's no connection there. Like you'll never connect with me as a person if I do that observational material, satirical stuff. But like when I start coming from places of experience and things I've been through, and then you start to get invested into me as a person, and then you start to like trust me as a performer and really let me like take you on a ride like through my eyes.
Because I see you on stage, and I like watching you because I see you on stage and I could see that you are literally reliving those moments in your head. Like
and it's so sad, but funny.
That's my life, though. And I think that's my life in a nutshell. It's sad, but it's funny. Like
I think that's all comics, though.
Right? And, but yeah, no, absolutely, no, I do, and I think that is one of my best attributes as a performer, is that I embody that moment.
Totally.
Like I don't even do it consciously. That's just me as a person. Like I'm so fueled with this emotion and vigor. I'm just like life. And so when I'm on stage, like the stories that I tell, like I'm back in that moment.
Totally.
And my eyes say it, and my features and everything.
Yeah,
like,
your whole body language.
Yeah,
absolutely.
and I love it, man. And that's a part of, and honestly, that's a part of the catharsis, like the therapy in it.
Totally.
Is that I get to relive it, and then sometimes I get to feel things that like that I might not have felt, and then when people laugh, it validates everything,
right.
And I'm just like, oh, that really shitty situation I went through isn't that bad anymore, because like I got to talk it out, and then these people got to laugh about it, and it's not that they're laughing because people might think, oh, well, they're laughing. No, they're laughing because they identify with the experience,
right.
And then they feel something in their life that they went through that's a little parallel,
Sure.
Totally,
and they get to laugh at their own pain.
And
suddenly,
oh shit, I've been through that.
Right?
And that's when the
healing.
healing that's when the healing begins, is because laughter is a very tricky thing, man. It's a very it's a seductive, very tricky thing, because when you laugh at something, that means that like you can't take it that seriously anymore. So like if you can laugh at your pain, suddenly you're just like, you know what, I can live with it a little bit better. And that's just really like, that's a part of that audience performer relationship in comedy that's so unique, and that's really what I live for this thing for, is that connection with people, is that we share that, and
you-
I love it so much.
Have you had that moment where you, where the joke that you wrote was about the person sitting in front of you? You're like, oh shit, this guy came to see me tonight, and then the material's already on deck, and then you notice, oh god damn it.
Oh no, because most of the stuff I write is about me. So but
Oh, so you see yourself in the mirror. Oh god damn it.
yeah, no, but there'll be things that off stage where because I joke I can be real vicious and and I'll say certain things and in a way where I'm just well, if somebody said it about me, I take it as a joke. But then somebody might get their feelings hurt, then I have to go but I'm a really heartwarming person, so I'm really good at being man, I'm sorry, and I didn't think I was gonna hurt your feelings, and I'll be like, man, you can say whatever you want about me.
Yeah, right.
That's one of the things I love hanging with comics, and I love listening to comics podcasts and all this, where there's no thin skin. Dude, you just fucking blast people, and it's all funny, dude.
And honestly, you get to the point where only the extreme works because we're all so kind of desensitized to the normal jibber jabber that might be stimulating to the average person. We're just dude, I just talked about myself
I was just talking about the size of my dick up there.
I was talking about being drunk and sitting down to pee because I didn't want to stand. Come on,
we've
man.
all been there.
Yeah, so what do you so a lot of times we can be very vicious with each other, and we can, and you might have people looking at me man, they're kind of mean to each other, but really it's not. It's all in good fun.
No, totally.
And that stimulates
it's all in
creativity.
love. Absolutely.
And that stimulates the creativity.
It's all and but I also like that you come in here and you open up on regular spoken word, and you talk about the things you're passionate about, like helping the homeless and that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, man. No, I again, that spoken word is even still the comedy stuff, man, because
totally.
I will take certain themes or certain and take them with me and write about them. But no, absolutely, man. I feel and this is just me, and it can sound kind of weird sometimes, but I feel I want to be as transparent as I possibly can, not just on stage, but for people in general.
Totally.
Because I want to show people that that life doesn't have to be the perfect situation for you to change your life will never exist. And if you look for that, when for the situation to be right, you will always be in the situation that you're in. So I like to show people that, dude, I am fucked up. I'm a completely flawed, jaded person. I've done not good things, and I've learned lessons, and but I want people to know that, so that people would say, you know what, if that fucked up dude can chase his dream, I know that I can do something really special, because and I want people to believe that about themselves, because it's so true, man.
Absolutely.
It's so true. Every one of us we have infinite amount of potential, and we have and we're so caught up in the structure of what's handed to us, and
we were just talking about that today.
Yeah, absolutely. We're totally caught up in the structure in which we fall into, and we get so paralyzed in that fear of change, and we get so paralyzed in the comfort that we stay in there, even though it drives us fucking crazy and it's miserable.
We were talking about it today. There's literally no growth. Sorry, baby. There's literally no growth from the comfort zone.
Yeah, no, that's...
You know what I mean? And the comfort zone, getting out of your comfort zone sucks, man. You're not always going to be happy. You're always going to be pushing yourself. You're going to be tired. You're going to be hungry. You're going to be angry. And all those things are going to come. But, man, being out of your comfort zone the next day, when you look back at what you did, fuck yeah, dude, I did all that. It's kind of dope. You know what I mean?
It does. And that's one of those things. That's why, those cliche sayings, are true, is because... And I think there's a silly thing that we do as human beings that I've done many, many years, and I can get even caught up into now, is I think we all kind of feel like we're waiting for that, that moment where I'll arrive and then everything will be okay.
As soon as my bills are paid off, as soon as this is done, as soon as that is done.
And at some point it's this yearning for, at some point everything will be okay. And that's not real life. That's not no real life.
You got to take the plunge.
There are moments, but you're and that's not even and I think people wouldn't even want that if they had it, because life is the way in my experience, life feels most lived when I'm goal orientated and I'm constantly chasing those goals.
Mhm.
And
Totally.
and when there's obstacles in between and things don't go right, and I pick myself up and I keep moving, like that's when life feels satisfying and good. You know, whenever when you're just kind of sitting around like enjoying the success, like it doesn't feel as good.
No.
'Cause you're not doing anything different.
Yeah, you're not doing anything different. And
Yeah.
when you because we're always chasing a new comfort zone. And even when we get out our comfort
Oh,
zone,
totally.
we reestablish a
We
new
want
one.
that new zone to be comfortable.
Yeah, and we reestablish a new one, and then we kind of convince ourselves to get out of it, and then we reestablish a new one.
Yeah.
And we constantly are looking, like for that. It's all gonna be okay, and it's just like, dude, it's all okay right now.
Right.
It's always okay. It's never
You're-
that bad. So like, just do you, man. Like,
And just go with it.
and just go with it.
You're kind of-
Ride.
every suffering you go through, you'll get through it.
Yeah.
You always have. You always will.
Yeah.
Well, not always. There will be the one time you don't.
Yeah, that's true. That's
And that
that's
is
the
just
last
a
one.
transition.
Yeah, that's just a new.
It's just a new thing.
New phase of your life.
Mm.
or
That's just a
existence,
new thing.
so-
That's just a new thing. But absolutely, and that's and that's a hard thing for a lot of and again, it's not a lot of people don't have time to sit and think.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Slow it down.
Everybody's busy.
Take it
man.
easy.
Yeah, a lot of people
Everybody-
don't have that. They don't have or they don't feel like they have that luxury.
Mhm.
They're just like, I'm just going on
And
autopilot.
a lot of people too, they have the time, they just choose not to because they're addicted to the TV or their cell phone.
and
or
that's the
whatever
perception is that
whatever
I
it
don't
is.
have any time. But really,
Yeah.
You got lots of time.
you got lots of
Yeah.
time. You're just stuck in this
Box.
this
You're
routine.
stuck in the box.
Yeah.
Working-
Society has taught you to be in.
I'm sure Samantha can attest to this too, but working here has showed me how much time I wasted.
Mm.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Because I'm like, if I sit down, except for at night when we finally sit down and turn the TV on and say, fuck it.
It's usually not till 11.
Yeah, yeah, but if I sit
So
down
tired.
before that, or if I stop working before, I'm like, what am I doing wasting all this time? I only got now, and then I have no guarantee that there's another chance at this, so
Sure.
why would I waste
A second.
a second? Get up and start moving, do your thing, and work on, like, I hate to sound like that guy, but fucking get laser goddamn focused and work on what makes you passionate and do it, man.
Absolutely, and that's that, and that's that, that's just that doer mentality.
You
man.
got to do it, man.
And
And you're gonna hurt people's feelings doing that, and you're gonna run them over, and you're gonna, you know what I mean? Because sometimes you become so assertive that you're just a complete dick. But
somebody's got to be, and that's the truest statement you'll ever hear in business. Someone's got to be the dick, bro.
yeah,
or else nothing's getting done, and we're gonna shut off the lights, and then suddenly
Yeah.
everyone's gonna be wondering like what went
Yeah.
wrong. And instead of that, I'll be the asshole, and I'll allow everyone to hate me for a little bit. But you know what? We're gonna be in business tomorrow, and you guys are gonna have a place to work.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
let's
yeah.
just chill out and enjoy the moment.
Mhm.
Like we get too caught up in life. Life isn't supposed to be all hunky dory all the time,
It's
man.
not.
And
no,
this,
you're not guaranteed constant happiness and
And you're-
constant comfort and
and really, you are honestly guaranteed the opposite.
And it's a lot of work.
yeah,
That's what people also fail to realize is it's a lot of work.
success is
you can't,
work.
You can't just say, "Oh, I really want," and then not do anything and expect
Yeah.
it to happen.
Oh God, that's what these I used to be in a philosophy that I love, but there are certain aspects of that philosophy that people use that I hate.
What's the
And-
philosophy?
And it's like the law of attraction. And
Oh,
like,
okay.
and people will, the book The Secret. I fucking hate that book. I fucking hate that bitch.
Isn't that
Bound to burn.
I thought that was Oprah's
It's got
book.
a few good
But it
tips
has
in
great
Oh,
advice in it.
It's got good advice,
Yeah.
but it takes it to this magical land of
Yeah.
like, I can just sit here and I can create a vision board and I can meditate on the vision board and then suddenly everything will come into place. No, dude, that's not the way it works. Like you're gonna work your ass off and you still might fail, but you know what? In that failure, you're gonna learn some lessons, and then you're gonna get up and you're gonna do something different, and then that is gonna lead you into something like better and greater.
Does the book not say that? I haven't read it.
No, the book it's just a silly book. It tries to take this idea that like creating your own reality is all a thought process, and that just by mere thought, like I
no
can,
action?
with no action, I can just sit and create like
Manifest it with
manifest unending bliss.
I mean, I'm
It's
sure
the
there's
whole-
people that can.
No one can.
I
That's
bet
so
the ones with the psychic powers.
It's
I bet they-
Yeah, they totally could, right?
Whole positive thinking.
Wouldn't that be
believe
awesome?
that.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
The only positivity that comes out of any of those books are the fucking checks that the people who write it get to cash.
Exactly.
Like, and I'm not against positivity. I believe in positivity. Like, I got a tattoo that, like,
I'm feeling like you don't right now, bro.
no, I understand, but like, I believe in positivity. I just don't believe in using positivity as a way to get out of doing hard work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because it's got to be 50. You've got to believe in yourself. Absolutely.
Yeah.
If I didn't believe in myself, I could never get up in the morning. But
Do you think? Go ahead.
I better get my ass to work when I do.
Right.
Speaking of believing in yourself, do you think there's a piece you have to fight, like even this business for us, a piece you have to fight of the ego? Like you're up there on stage, and then people have a different view of you, especially if people start to think that you're famous. And not saying you're not.
No, like I'm not completely. But like, but I understand what you mean. Like there is the ego that that says that like, and and the ego gets played out in some interesting ways on stage because one I don't get full of myself in the perspective like, oh, I'm a good performer because I've got a long road ahead of myself.
Sure. How long have you been performing, actually?
Oh, dude, I've only been doing it. At the February the 28th will be a year.
Wow.
It'll be
Well, good for you. So sorry, I want to digress for a second. So you gave up your life back home to come do this in Vegas? That's what I'm ascertaining?
Yeah. No, I'm going to give you guys an interesting backstory, and this is cool stuff. But I got out of prison in 2013 in September the 24th, and
just do you mind saying what you're in prison for?
Yeah, no, I don't mind. I was in prison for assault with a deadly weapon. I got into a fight with somebody when I was 19. I got into a fight with somebody. I ended up stabbing him, and I did. And there's a big story. I mean, it was more fear based, because he was a big dude, and he kind of grabbed me in a headlock, and there were a lot of my friends around me. And as a 19-year-old kid, my thought was like, oh, this guy's gonna embarrass me in front of my friends. I had a knife on me. I took it out. I was just like, I'll fucking, and I didn't put him a full blade into his body. Like, not that it makes it any better, but I ran it across his back. And my thought process was, he'll get away from me, and then I'll be this badass dude. The moment I did it, and I've replayed this moment millions and millions of times in my head, like in a lonely little cell. Yeah. But the moment I did it, I realized the full gravity of what I had done. Yeah. Like the moment I did it, like as soon as I pulled that blade away and I saw the blood dripping from the knife, I was like, this is real life. I was like, this is real fucking life. What the fuck, dude? Like, what were you doing? And
why'd you do that?
Well, exactly. I was just
why'd I do that?
Exactly. I was like, I just stabbed someone and I don't know why. Yeah. And I ended up having to go to court for a long time because luckily my parents are notorious criminals, and we had good lawyer friends, so they did a really good job, and they got me probation. They got a man who stabbed a man and with witnesses all around probation.
And we're in a headlock. It sounds like self-defense.
Sounds like self-defense. No, that wasn't pled. How is that? Because headlock can kill you.
Here's what the law says: you don't bring a knife to a fist fight. And the law kind of and it's an
even in Texas,
the judge a judge will look at it like, why did you bring this weapon when there's no other weapon in the thing?
When it's a knife, everybody has a knife.
Yeah, but you can have it, but I used it. It's one thing to varnish it and to be like, oh, I'll cut you. It's another thing to actually use it on a person. But you'll actually talk to criminals. Well, I've told people, I've been like, what are they in here for? And they'll be like, I was like, oh, I stabbed somebody. And they'll be like, damn, that's real shit. And this is a prisoner. And I'm like, what? And they're just like, dude, anybody can shoot somebody from far away. It takes some real vicious shit to be able to come up close to somebody and cut them. And I'm just like, I didn't think about it like that. I honestly didn't think about it. I was too young and stupid.
And you were in a headlock.
And I used to use that as I'm not a bad person. No, it was completely fear driven and ego based, and I knew in my heart that this man was not gonna kill me. I just did it because I didn't want to be embarrassed, and that's me owning that shit. But no, but I got out of prison and I did 3 years. I got out and I had to do another 2 years on parole because they gave me 5. And so my whole goal was I'm going to get off parole. I don't care what I have to do. I'm never going back to prison. And I started and even in prison, I started living with the goal of getting out. So I started living this goal-orientated life unconscious to me. And I'm working my ass off to get out of prison, taking all these classes, writing letters, doing all the things I need to do. I get out of prison and I'm working my ass off.
You're a model prisoner.
Model prisoner, absolutely. Now, I had a couple of little hustles, like I worked in the library and I would sell newspapers and things, but those are innocent hustles.
You got to get your commissary, bro.
Yeah, but those are innocent hustles in prison.
Yeah.
Even the guards are just like, dude, no one cares about that. Sell your newspapers, brother. Sell your little magazines. Yeah, because they've got drugs they got to worry about. They got people raping each other in the showers. Like me giving a guy.
Everybody raping everybody in here.
Yeah, me getting you the Houston Chronicle isn't that big of a deal. So like I'm living this goal-oriented life. I'm out and I'm gonna get off parole. And I'm taking all these classes and I get off parole, and suddenly there's no more goal. There's no more. I'm just sitting there like, now what? What do I do now? Where does my life go? And that was in March the 19th of 2016 is when I got off of parole.
So just a question.
Yeah.
Do they not like prepare you to become back into civilized?
No, I mean
world,
you prepare yourself. You prepare yourself.
There's no like job.
No, there isn't, and with all the state cuts now, like they've even cut out like the GED classes. Like you can't even really get your GED anymore unless you're. It's just they don't want to spend the money on the class anymore.
That's funny in a privatized prison system that they can't spend the money on their billion-dollar corporation.
No, absolutely not. There's a saying, and it's all over prison. It's the money goes for more guards, more bars, and more buildings. So that's what it is.
No, that's totally true. Yeah.
And so no, I took classes, but they were just more for me to get the accreditation so I could get out. Like literally, the classes were nothing. Like
nothing that's going to provide you any kind of income when you get out, or
no. Like this was all on me to make that happen, which is a unique thing. That's why the recidivism rate is so high.
Sure.
But like even in all of my
business needs repeat customers, man.
Yeah, and even in all of my dealings of like that world, like I've always had a good skill set, like and it's always been my mouthpiece. Like I've always been able to get a good job because I could talk. So like when I got out, I'm doing good. I get off and I feel like a rudderless ship. Like I've literally got no direction. And that year I just spend like traveling and spending money like irresponsibly and kind of hanging out with family. And like, because I'm like, well, I'm going to reconnect with my family. And it all feels good, but it's not fulfilling something in me. I feel lost and empty and void. And that feeling is coming over me more and more. And in this really serendipitous conversation, my best friend in the world was talking to me, and he was in a depression. And he goes, man, I'm thinking about just going to a comedy club and doing an open mic and getting some shit off my chest. And I'd never even and I never even thought. I've always loved comedy, but I equated to comedy is like that best friend that's like a beautiful girl that was always around you, but you're always chasing all these other girls, and like you've got this beautiful woman here, and you're oblivious to it. That's what comedy was to me. Like everyone's always told me, you're a natural performer, you're a great talker, you're a great funny dude. Never entertained it, but when he said it, it was just like, why don't I do that?
I should try that.
I should try that. As soon as he said it, I was just like, I want to do that. And I was just like, dude, we should do it. And I looked it up.
It's good to go with a buddy.
It
helps.
I looked it up in San Antonio, and I told him like the next day, I was like, dude, on Monday and Tuesdays they've got open mics, we can go. And he immediately got cold. He's like, I don't want to do it.
Forget it.
And for like 2 weeks, every day I went to him and I was like, dude, let's do it. And he was like, no. And I was writing stuff and I go, whoa, dude, I'm gonna go do it. I was like, I'm gonna go do this. And I went.
Did he go?
No, he's never gone. And
did he go support you?
No, he didn't. Like he's
what a dick.
He can be a dick.
You could have at least been there.
Yeah, he can be a dick sometimes. But honestly, like he's the funniest dude I've ever met. Even funnier than me. And but.
That's not saying much. No, I'm playing.
Right? I know.
Well, he's still new. He's only been doing it a year.
Yeah, but so like I get on stage, man, and it's no one really laughs at all, really. But there's this masochistic enjoyment I get out of it, right? Like I'm just like, I don't know why I like that, but that was cool. So I come.
Give it to me.
Yeah, exactly. I come in the next day. I come in the next week, and I do it again. And on the third week, I finally get like this. Like I ended on a big laugh. Like they're
yay.
Nice.
And that's when like that heroin hit me. Like it was just this rush of euphoria.
Like, oh my God.
And I was just like,
wait, I'm getting laughs.
I was just like, oh my God. I was like, this is this is everything. This is everything that's ever been missing.
You felt joy.
And I got off stage and I felt this high and I was just like, wow. And I was just like, this is my life. I was like, this is my fucking life now.
Nice,
and I started doing it like in San Antonio as much as I could. And then after about 2 months, I kind of had this real conversation with me by myself. And I said, Gabriel, you're 32. You're either this is going to be like a weekend warrior thing, that is a hobby that you're doing, or you're going to make this your whole life and you're really going to go after it. And I was like, what do you want to do, man? And I was just like, I want to go after this thing, man. So like, I told my brother and my sister-in-law, and I told everybody in the house, I was just like, and they took it as a huge shock. I was like, I'm going to move to Vegas. And they're just like, what? And I was just like, what do you mean? You don't even know anybody. And I was just like, yeah, but
why Vegas?
Oh, here's the thing. I had two criteria. I wanted the place to have legal marijuana.
Yeah.
And I wanted the place to have a place where I could have enough stage time to build myself as a comedian. So my first initial thing was Denver. Like I was like, Denver, I'm going to Denver. And the cost of living is just too high. Like one bedroom apartment.
Plus you can't work year round either.
Yeah.
Denver it's cold. People ain't coming out open mics when it's freezing, bro. And, no matter where they live. I don't think anyways.
I mean, I don't know. I just know that like the cost of living was too much and I couldn't work it out. So I saw that Vegas had just passed the marijuana thing. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, Vegas, huh? And I was like, it's probably like New York. And like, it's really expensive everywhere. Mm-hmm. But I went on Craigslist and I was like, I'll just look, because that's where my reference was. I'll go on Craigslist and I'll look at the housing market and the apartment market, and that'll give me a general idea of what the cost of living is. And I was just like, wow, this is not bad. And then I started researching it and Vegas was just the most economical choice. And everything started falling into place. I called apartments because I've got a felony, so it's a little tough. Like I've really got to do a lot of work to get a place,
which sucks.
And it does because no one can
fail when you get out. You're stuck.
Yeah, and no one can read the content of your heart and be like, oh yeah, you're a turned around person.
Yeah.
So like I got all my ducks in a row, got my apartment set up, and like did everything, and took my old '99 Lumina and packed all my stuff in there like some hippie like vagabond. That's and funny. And just drove like 18 hours to Vegas, man. And again, this came at the complete befuddlement and like questioning of everyone who loved me. Like, they're just like you're gonna.
Are you sure?
They're just like you're gonna ruin your life.
You're gonna do what? Yeah.
They're like you're gonna ruin your life, dude. I was just like they're just like Gabriel, the guy who loves satiating his pleasures, is going to go to Las Vegas.
Did anybody say, oh, you're going to go down a wrong path and go back to prison?
Everybody told me that. They were just like my mom, and I knew that they came from a good place. They just didn't want to see their the guy who had just gotten out of prison a year ago, who's now going to be a stand-up comic. Right. They want to protect you, and they're just like, dude, stay home. You've got your family here. You're good. And I'm just like, no, I'm not good. I'm fucking dying inside, man. Mm-hmm. And you guys can't see it, and that concerns me. Because what they were seeing is they wanted to protect me, and they were seeing my place in their life.
Right.
And they didn't want to lose that. They didn't want to lose me in their life. And I understand that because I didn't want to lose them. But this is bigger than that. This is bigger than our silly little connections and emotions. Like, we got to be strong, and we got to be able to make those tough decisions and live the life that we feel like we deserve or that we want. And
support those that are trying to do it, especially in our families. It's so important to support the people that are doing the crazy shit.
Yeah, support them.
And now they love it.
Because it's good. Yeah. That's good, yeah.
Yeah, because now
them wrong, right?
Yeah, now it's been almost it's been like 9 months, and they're just like, I guess he's not gonna die. But I'm just like, nope, I'm making it, man. Like, I'm doing it. But yeah, no, everyone's supportive now, but they were really confused and really scared at first, which I understand. But that was the initial, that was why I came here. As I wanted to take this seriously. I wanted to change my life. I wanted to live in a place where I could smoke cannabis and not lose my apartment or lose my stuff, get arrested. So and it's honestly it's my own hero's journey, and it hasn't been the easiest thing in the world.
But did you play the Rocky song or the Best Around all the way here? Just like
I honestly I think I listened to Big Star the whole way. I don't know if you know Big Stars. They're a great band. They're in the 70s, and they made an album called Number One album or Number One record.
That's amazing.
And it's such a but it honestly was one of the best albums I've ever heard.
Well, speaking of music, so what's your 3 favorite bands?
Sublime, The Doors, and The Beatles.
Wow, so fast, boom, boom, boom. Usually
Yeah.
people are like, hold on, that's a really tough question.
No,
you sorted this out.
Yeah, no,
that's what prison will do, right? You get time to think.
Yeah, I chronologically had everything. You could have been like, what's your top 50 bands? And I would have been like Sublime, Floyd, The Doors, Stone. Like, it has been like 49 would have been Soul Asylum, 50 would have been In Excess.
What was the like prison? I recently did some work in a jail. It was like a jail where they hold you until you go to prison.
No.
Hold on. Let me finish.
Yeah.
I'm telling. Yeah. So anyways, but when I looked around there, all I fucking saw was like, no wonder they fight all the time. It looks so fucking boring, dude.
Super boring.
Like I'm never coming. It looks so fucking boring, and people are mean to you at the same time. I don't know.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Luckily, like I can really ghost real easy. So like, I just kind of sit and read books, and suddenly I'm not even there. But like now I've always had a really good way of carrying myself, where like I don't
bothered.
I don't bother people, and for the most part, I mean, you have to deal with things here and there, but but for the most part, but yes, boring is
boredom was what I started to say. There's so much time to fucking think, man.
That's all you can do, man. Is think and get into drama. Like the one thing I did do, like, because I did try to make that time work for me, because I was a librarian and I read a lot of books.
Cool,
and
man.
I read spiritual books on philosophy, like just all kind. I mean, I've read a ton of shit that I love, and honestly, I that's the only part of prison I miss, is that like
the time to read.
The time to read, man. Because and you're like, and I'm a free will person. I can read all day if I wanted to.
Yeah.
But all the temptations aren't here.
There's so much to do here.
Like, I'm just like, well, let me check my social media. I'd rather just listen to this on a podcast, or but like sitting down and quieting your mind and being able to like read like a 500-page book in like one sitting is something that I don't feel a lot of people really like understand what it does for you as a person.
What does it do?
I think it gives you a lot of like mental patience.
Sure.
Like to be able, I think it gives you a bigger aptitude and like capacity to digest knowledge, because like you're constantly taking in characters and situations and themes, and you're blending them together with everything you've read
and actually seeing it in your mind.
And you're building that portrait in your mind. So like I think it's good for creativity, and it's all around. I wish I could and I'm trying to be more disciplined. Is commit to like at least 15 minutes of reading a day, like just to keep the mind sharp, man. But
I make that goal all the time.
We're planning on hosting a book club in here, and it's
nice.
A different kind.
Yeah, I can give you a good suggestion for my favorite book.
I plan on you attending.
I will.
It's a different kind of book club. What is it?
Yeah, it's a book club where not everybody has a book. We only have one book, and we sit in a circle and we read a chapter and then pass the book to the next person to read.
A whole chapter?
Whatever.
That is so scary for me.
But we just pass the book around, and then maybe just read a whole chapter.
Oh, read one chapter and then discuss it. Yeah, that's cool.
And then talk about the chapter afterwards.
That's cool. Yeah, no.
Nobody reads books in the book clubs. I didn't.
Cliff noted up on the way there.
Yeah.
Book on tape on the way.
Cheating yourself from like the whole thing is supposed to be the whole experience.
Yeah. So at least this kind of makes it everybody's interacting and experiencing it together.
And then you get to talk it out.
Yeah.
You get to talk out like the themes and the ideas, and that's fun stuff too. But yeah, no. What's your favorite books? Like anybody or
my absolute favorite book is Stiff.
Stiff. I've never read that. I'm gonna.
Oh yeah, go explain it.
Who's the author?
I don't remember.
Explain it though.
It's a doctor chick, and
is it a fiction or is it a?
No, it's truth. It's It's about cadavers.
Cadavers.
The whole, from start to finish, like history of to today and what happens to the whole thing. Yeah,
interesting.
It's
cool.
Super interesting.
That's nice. There's a book called The Magus by John Foles, and he wrote The French Lieutenant's Wife, and he also wrote I forgot Butterfly or something Butterfly something with I forget the name.
Butterfly Effect?
No, it's called like it starts with it's an M word and then it's Butterfly. I think
Mexican?
It's like, no, I think it's like I can't remember and I'm not gonna because I can't get it. But he's the book The Magus is an incredible book and it changed the way that I like think about every situation in my life because
that's dope.
Yeah, it's fucking good. Like, and without giving too much of away, essentially it's about this English guy who he's young, he's like in his 20s, and he's he's had pretty good success in life, and he's making good money, and he has a girlfriend, and everything in his fucking life sucks. Like, he hates it, and he decides he's gonna take this job in Greece, and he's just gonna go there and just get away from everything. So he takes the job in Greece, and this is before my little hero's journey. But he takes the job in Greece, and he meets this guy. Interestingly enough, like I pronounced it Conscious, but his name was spelled Conchise. I just said Conscious.
Yeah.
And he meets this guy named Conscious, and he's this older man, and he takes him on this he just starts asking him questions and then presenting him with new ideas, presenting him with literature, and slowly starts to change the way this dude thinks about everything in life.
Nice.
And it's this dual thing that's happening, because as the character is being exposed to these things, you, the reader, are being exposed to these
things. There's like a duality of story.
You're going through this journey with him,
nice.
And he's changing, you're changing, and it's fucking amazing.
Cool. What's your favorite book, JR? You've been quiet all day. Here. I know you're not feeling well, but what's your favorite book?
Well, the book that I'm currently reading is Murder Machine.
Oh, okay.
It's based off of the family that was it the Gotti family, mafia.
Oh, okay.
They basically had a team of not grown-ups but teenagers. It ranged from 19 to 20 something.
Oh, okay.
Of murderers, and they showed how they killed people, or like the script described how they killed people, how they felt, why they killed them, how they dealt with the body. It's bananas.
That's
how
your
they felt
favorite
mentally.
book?
That's what I'm reading now, and it's really good. And scary.
Who's your favorite author?
It's really scary.
My favorite
author, yeah. Because my favorite, that's an interesting question. My favorite author is Hunter S. Thompson.
That's a great author. I've read a lot.
But not because of the way he writes, because of his lifestyle.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
Not giving a fuck
that
lifestyle.
gonzo journalism is beautiful.
Oh, it's
because
amazing.
Just the idea that I love blurring the lines of reality.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And that's gonzo journalism, is you don't know where the
which part is real,
which
and
is
which
real
part
and what's fake, what's experience and what's imagination, and that's beautiful. And I try to take that on stage. I'll say I have a joke about like an MMA girlfriend. I got off stage one time and someone was just like, I didn't know you had a girlfriend. And I was like, dude, I don't. And he's just like,
never, ever let reality get in the way of a good joke.
Yeah, and I told him, dude, I'm the Joker when I'm on stage. I don't know what my past is. I don't know what happened in my life. I'm just telling you shit to make you laugh.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, no, of course there are real themes, but at the same time, if I can build a story around some cool shit,
totally.
Who cares? But yeah,
my favorite book. That's such a hard question. Probably
the Bible.
I think Art of the Deal by Donald Trump.
Really?
No. So I did read that book.
Fire and Fury.
I read that book to the 5th or 6th chapter, and they have the day in the life of Donald Trump. If you want a whole chapter of just material, the day in the life of Donald Trump, he talks in the third person the whole time, and he breaks it down to 3-minute segments. At 3:30, the Donald Trump gets up. At 3:30, the Donald Trump does this. At 3:30, I swear to fuck. And I ended
makes perfect sense.
I just had to put it down. I'm like, that is enough, dude. I was like, no goddamn way, dude. It just got, because when I was I had a lot of time to read too when I was in Iraq, because we were on mission or we were doing nothing.
Yeah.
And so when I wasn't on mission, I read a lot of books, and so we were going to open up a skateboard shop when I got home or something. We were going to do something, and so I'm reading all this stuff on making money, like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and books like that. You know what I mean? Rich Dad, Poor Dad is actually a pretty good book, but so I checked out of the library The Art of the Deal, and when I got to that chapter, I was like, fuck this guy all the way to fuck. I cannot do it.
There's a little book, because the Magus is a bigger book, but there's a smaller book called Mutant Message from Down Under. It's 135 pages. I've bought this book many times just so I can give it to people.
Yeah.
Because it's cheap. It's you can buy it a half price books for $4. And but it is that's another book that helped change my helped me and still helps me all the time. And it's essentially about it's like faction.
Yeah.
Or it's actually it's actually fact, but like it has a lot of like spiritual shit.
Okay.
So like it's you can interpret that as fiction or fact.
You know, so a really good book I
Yeah.
read was the Shack. Like honestly, the movie. Have you seen it? Like it's all about this guy. Anyways, it's about meeting God and
Oh.
Jesus and meeting the Holy Spirit. And I didn't know that. The cover looks like a fucking horror book, which I love horror books.
Yeah.
So I walked by, grabbed it by a cover on the way to get on an airplane.
Judge a book by its cover.
Exactly. And I'm reading this, and
Library 101.
it starts off great, horror. Oh, girl's kidnapped on the lake. It's all got all the good horror shit. Oh, someone's getting their head cut off, which she did, but then it turned into a God book.
Oh, that's
What
crazy.
the fuck happened? It's kind of like what Desperado. What's that movie where they go to? Never mind, the Quentin Tarantino movie. It's a Desperado movie, and then it turns into vampires.
Oh, a Dust Till Dawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I think I just like Selma Hayek. That was my thing. I
Yeah,
just
well,
saw
yeah,
Selma Hayek,
that's-
and I was just like, this is a good movie.
Close your ears, honey.
Says 15-year-old Gabe.
Yeah, at 15 years old, whoever old, I thought that was probably the sexiest scene in any
Oh,
movie
God.
ever.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
she's
When she pours the champagne down her whole body and then off her
Yeah.
toe and into that dude's mouth, I was like, oh God.
I was just like, wow. Like, this is one of those things where like, it's just one that you see and you're just like, I don't know why, but I want someone to do that. To
But
me.
I've seen a lot of strippers in Tijuana, and I understand how dark black their feet are from walking around with no shoes
Oh,
on.
God.
So, yeah.
Honestly, dude, like, again, this is one part of my stand-up that's like real. Is like I tell people, I'll say like, I tell a girl, I do everything. I do everything. I don't.
No shame.
I don't. On stage I say it's because I don't feel that I'm that attractive. That's not true. I'm a very attractive man. But like I do it because I philosophically I am attractive. I feel philosophically I can't deny somebody pleasure because of some weird hang-up that I have about their body. Like that's silly to me.
There's a lot of trannies out here that would like to hear that.
Yeah, no, and I'm cool with them too, man. Like I'm not judging anybody, dude. I mean, options have never been better. Like there are women with penises, there are men
Yeah.
with vaginas. Like
Yeah.
you can literally have
Dudes with
anything you
boobs.
want.
It's a
Yeah,
really
Dudes
good
with
word.
boobs.
Like you can have anything you want. Like it doesn't matter, and I'm all for like everybody having everything they want.
Totally.
Yeah. So like, but no, like I don't know where I got off on that weird tangent.
No, it's cool. So I'll bring it back. So my favorite book, dude, probably, honestly,
Right back.
my favorite book is probably Lord of the Rings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's
not
what I
Lord of the
need
Rings,
to
The
read.
Hobbit.
Yeah.
The Lord of the Rings are super hard reads. Like they take I go all the way back to the beginning of that chapter because they introduce new
Yeah.
characters. You can't pronounce their names. It's very difficult.
No.
But-
I've heard that.
But The Hobbit was fascinating, and that's the fastest I've blazed through a book like ever.
lost
Like
my
I
respect.
I just couldn't. I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah. No, I've heard that Peter Jackson will spend like 15 pages on describing like a hill, and it was like the greenness
Jesus.
of the grass, and I'm just like, I get it.
Peter Jackson did the movies, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
J.R. Tolkien.
J.R. Tolkien. I
Yeah,
heard
J.R.
he can
Tolkien.
spend a lot of time like in description.
What they wrote so for every different person or different type of what is it, like, species in that book, he wrote that language. So
Yeah.
that's how deep he went into it. So
Yeah.
that's why it becomes very difficult to read the Lord of the Rings series because, dude, it gets really hard and
Yeah.
huh?
Isn't the whole storyline based off of what was happening during the war, like for real?
Yeah, the whole thing is
Like,
it is a
It's like Animal Farm.
it's a
all-
political it's a political piece based on World War I and then World War II following. Absolutely,
Right.
yeah, and
Oh,
that's what I
okay.
understand. Please look that up, fact check me,
Well,
but that's what I
think saw a
understand.
documentary. I
Yeah.
saw a documentary and wasn't sure if it was.
Dude, you know what
happening.
documentary I'm watching right now that's
Mm.
fucking freaking me out? That I
Mhm.
never realized how much I enjoy.
What?
The Waco David Koresh
Oh,
thing
God.
on
Oh, that's a good
Paramount.
one. Yeah.
Fucking amazing. Because like, okay, this is a weird thing that I tell people that creeps them out.
How close were you to that
Like-
place when it happened? Like when you were
No,
a kid,
I
you were
was
in
a
Texas?
kid. I was in San Antonio, so like.
How
Waco-
close is that?
Fucking
That's
far.
far.
No, not far. It's 4 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like,
That's pretty far.
'cause Waco, they call Waco the heart of Texas.
Could you see the smoke?
No. Like I was like, I think it happened in '93, so I was like 7. But
Oh, you got.
Personality
I thought you were older than
for
that.
Flash.
yeah, I was like 7 or 8 years old in '93. Like I didn't
Okay.
know shit. But no, it's a trip to see like how bought in people word of those ideas.
Oh, yeah.
And how and because like and this is
on both sides.
Yeah, on both and this is something yes, on both sides. The ideology is so deep. And like because I tell people this interesting thing about that I feel about myself that I don't know how to couch in the right way, but if I didn't do comedy or what I did before comedy, which was sales, like I feel like I could have easily have been like a David Koresh type person, like easily, because I convey everything with passion and emotion, and I can make you feel. So like, because I used to, I've done a lot of the Christian stuff, and I think I've said I've been to ministerial school, so like I understand the dynamic, but like I have that conscious where I'm just like, this is bullshit. Well, and I just couldn't I couldn't escape that. I couldn't escape that seeping voice. And it was like that book where like the heart keeps beating and the guy goes crazy.
Yeah.
Like every time I was up there talking about and I mean,
isn't that the Raven?
It was the heart. It's the one, I forget what it's called, but the book, it's I can't remember. But no, I honestly felt like
This segment brought to you by weed.
Like I felt like just like, man, dude, this is kind of bullshit. But to see somebody like so passionate and like to convince people like he did, like it's really blowing me away for some reason. And I just can't believe that like, and this was before you could check everything from everybody.
Yeah.
I feel like, but it just goes to show you people have this innate desire to believe and to belong. And that's just something that comes from our tribal, they call it epinephrine DNA. Is that we want to be a part of the community. And I think in the structure of like the societal complex, societal matrix right now, like
welcome to Cult Happy Earth Market.
Yeah, like we're a lot of void of a lot of those like real family bonds and connections.
Totally.
So a charismatic person comes along, he starts talking really cool. I could see how some people could get.
People still, you know what I think a lot of it starts out of is like.
But the FBI definitely antagonized that situation.
ATF, don't fuck it up.
Yeah, okay, ATF definitely antagonized that situation.
Had something to do with it.
They're listening right now live, so it's all good.
That's all good. But like, I mean, if there was any, you guys fucked up. You fucked up. Come on, man.
But I think what happens a lot with those cult guys, I think it starts out with, hey, I believe this, and 3 or 4 people are listening. You know what I mean? Especially their family, and they're, yeah, man, that totally makes sense, and that's how they should interpret the Bible, and then it escalates to 10 people, and now they have a small tent church, and it just keeps escalating. And what happens to that escalation is if you don't keep your ego in check, now you become this all important cult leader. I don't think anybody's born overnight with 50 million followers. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like it escalates to this thing where they're just feeding their ego on this stuff. And why does it always end up with sex?
Yes. It's funny because I'm writing this bit about how all those leaders, and I got it from watching that thing, they end up like fucking their followers. And I'm just like, is that just like a prerequisite? Like, it's just like, I should probably, I mean, they all listen to me, right? I should just have sex with them. But like,
I'd like to have sex with all the young girls 13 to 14.
And the only one that didn't.
That's what happened.
The only one that didn't was the one guy that we all like love, and that was Jesus. Jesus, there's no stories about Jesus sleeping with his followers.
How do you know?
And that's where I come into the bit, is because I say, wouldn't it be funny if we found out he did, though? Like if there's some Gnostic gospel floating around and Silas is just like, Jesus brought me into the cave, and he told me if I really believed that he was the Son of God, I'd have to take him into my mouth. And I'm just like, oh God, like you did this, Jesus?
You want to be part of Team America, Jesus?
But yeah, so like, it's a trip though, man. Like all those people end up like, and that's where I think I would because I could see myself, buying into somebody's ideals, but I'm real quick to see the cracks in your personality. And if I see inconsistencies in your personality, like I'm quick to like separate myself, or at least follow you in that category of like may not really know what the fuck they're doing. But like, yeah, that guy's he's a trip, man. That whole thing's a trip. I can't believe but it's very entertaining. It's
not a new story in history. Those happen over and over and over again.
Lots of bad guys.
Yeah, there's a hardcore history podcast about.
There's no women though, right? There's no story of a woman being a cult leader and then like sleeping with all the men.
Well, let's not forget that behind every good man is a good lady directing shit. That's the truth.
So
do you know who that person was for like Koresh? Apparently it was this chick named Jadis Robin or something, and she was the original like Branch Davidian leader. And like the story is that like he was banging her, and like that's why she like let him have like free range. And I'm just like, I'm telling you, man, that pipe makes people think crazy.
David Koresh, I don't. Why are all the cult leaders so unmotherfucking attractive?
I thought David was kind of attractive.
Yeah, I just thought that dude just looks fucking crazy. The Jones guy.
Jones guy. That dude
guy
was
looked
hideous.
fucking
hideous.
frightening. Like, you're following that guy? Like, he's the guy if he walks down the street, I'm worried about him shooting up the whole complex whenever I see him.
You talking about Jim Jones?
Jim Jones, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's kind of unattractive. But I maybe I'm just kind of buying into Koresh now, like from the things, but
okay, I'll tell you what I do buy into. What I fucking do buy into is this is America.
Yeah.
And if you and your crazy motherfucking followers want to go out to a ranch and have a bunch of guns and fucking worship your God, in my opinion, you have every right
to do that.
Under the sun in any place. It's a natural right to do that. That's the reason people fled fucking Europe.
Was to
come here.
Freedom.
Yeah.
And I agree with that completely. And I don't buy the absolutely. I think if you want to be crazy and that crazy doesn't infringe on other people's crazy, go for it, man.
Yeah.
I mean, people might dissect my life and be like, well, that guy kind of just does comedy and he fucking smokes weed and he works. Like, that's kind of weird. You know, I don't want you coming in and fucking ATF in my life.
No. People. It's a human right to do what you want to do.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't infringe on anybody else's.
Now, where it gets weird is if he was abusing people. That's a totally different story. But if everybody was willingly going on with this stuff and there was nothing physical or sexually abusive, then, and if it was there's no big deal.
He was having sex with kids.
No. I was negating that fact. That is a different. That's a different crime altogether.
Yeah. Apparently, though, this is the tricky thing, and you know what I mean, because like in Texas, and this is coming from a person who's Texan, if your parents concede to the then. You can be as young as 13 or 14 years old, and that was the thing that he did. Every one of his followers said that he always got permission from the parents.
Right, and I'm sure that's
still fucked up because he had power over them psychologically.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they thought he was like some extension of God. So you're obviously using your influence in a negative way. Right. No one's absolving you of that. Yeah. I'm just saying like. If we want to go by the letter of the law, like in a legal proceeding, he didn't break the law.
I'm sure that's
fucked.
I'm sure that's a prayer.
And I'm not negating this. He is fucked. But like from a person who has been in courtrooms many times, if we're litigating the letter of the law, he committed no crime.
Sorry, I'm sure.
I heard a lawyer say that one time to me. No, I peed a little when he said it. State's ready. Pee.
I wonder where that law came from. I'm sure it's all prairie law when people, when you need to marry somebody, here's our daughter.
There's so many archaic, silly things that we still like graft into this social construct, dude. That's fucking ridiculous.
We decided today that humanity, in general, 10-year break from breeding. Let's get everybody together, take 10 years, rethink this whole fucking thing. Bring out some new shit at the end of the 10 years. We have to take a 10-year break from fishing. We only make enough food for the world to sustain on for that 10 years and just rethink this whole fucking thing. Just take a deep breath and redo it.
Well, because there's more births than deaths now.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, I think the world...
Bad.
I mean, and then it's only going to get worse. Because like medical science is only getting better, and like I think in
there's a pill for that.
Yeah, I mean, if we're even talking, I just in like what is like when they put like a fake arm on you? Prosthetics. Mm-hmm. Even in the world of prosthetics, it is getting amazing. We're getting close to that Luke Skywalker shit, where the needle's poking his fake hand and he's moving it. We're right on there.
Finally get that 4 more inches, babe.
Like he's just like, to my hands. He's like, look at these tiny little hands.
I got tiny hands like the Donald.
No, you don't. Your hands are quite. You actually have the like what we call like hay bells. Hay bells.
Yeah, I got boxers hands.
You're just one of those dudes who like grab the hay bale and you chuck it into another big pile.
That is the hardest work I've ever done. The 2 hardest work I've ever done.
Farmhand work.
I baled hay for a day, which is more like a few hours because I was so fucking smoked and I was like 13. Smoked. But actually the hardest work I ever done is I did chimneys for a summer where we put cement on rock and put the chimney on the rock. Put the rock on the chimney.
Oh god, that's terrible. I remember,
dude, that was such hard work.
I remember my grandpa and grandma used to have me because they had a little like an acre of land, so it was pretty big. And they would have me collect like the eggs from the chickens and fucking.
I've done that, yeah.
Dude, I remember one time I got all these ants on me because one of the eggs cracked, and like of course the ants were all over the eggs.
Totally.
I was like, oh my god, I got all scared. It was crazy, but yeah, but that's archaic stuff. I mean, kids don't grow up with that no more, man.
Yeah.
They don't get to have a connection to a lot of things, and I think that's why people are really. In the place that we a lot of times that we see is that kind of aloof is because they don't have those like we're not connected to shit.
Nothing.
Like,
and because
nothing
of that,
real.
we don't give a shit.
No connection, or like even like so like.
We don't give a shit about anything.
And nothing is represented about that more than like just read any comments online because you're no more disconnected from another person than whenever you're exchanging correspondence online, and you will say the most heinous shit.
I never have.
I do. But you get in front of them, and you would never. There's things you would never say to people in front of their face.
Never.
Dude, I've had people have it. I've had somebody up in Reno have me so fucking fuming. I fucking called this guy. I'm like, you motherfucker, you fucking post that shit. I will fuck you up. I can't wait to fucking see you at this meeting. I'm going to fuck you up. And he goes, Nathan, look at the post. I go, no, fuck you. And I fucking Nathan, look at the post. Oh, it wasn't you. Sorry, I gotta call the other guy.
No, like we all get, we're all human. We have.
It really happened.
But like, it's crazy, man. And I really believe that has a larger effect on people than we believe. Like, just the totality of the human experience in Western culture is mind-boggling. Like, you poison yourself with carbs and sugar every day. All the time, and
fluoride and GMOs.
Fluoride. I don't.
I have no problem debating on fluoride.
I mean, I just don't know how much is in the water.
Look here you go.
How much?
There is fluoride in the water. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the number one ingredient in Prozac?
Yeah, but there are different levels of it. Like,
it doesn't matter.
Trace amounts of things aren't going to kill you.
But you've been drinking trace amounts your entire fucking life.
Yeah, but you also process those your entire life.
You're right, but it also sits in your blood. It's like I
don't know.
It's like any. So how does a let me finish, dude. So how does a anti-anxiety, antidepressant pills?
Yeah.
How do those work? Well, you don't just take one and you're not depressed anymore. It takes 6 or 7 weeks of small doses to build up in your fucking system. Actually, it's 2 weeks because you have that stomach ache.
Does it calcify my pineal gland too?
But what I'm saying,
am I a zombie? Because I'm a pretty creative being.
What I'm saying is it builds up in your bloodstream over decades.
I'm only going from my own individual experience as a human being.
You're young.
And I don't feel like a zombie.
And you're not.
Until you're 50.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I know people who are 50 and
have they been drinking the water the whole time?
Look,
my grandma was 50.
Here's the question: why take the chance, dude? You know it's in the water. You know it's in the water.
No, I'm not saying.
Why take the fucking chance?
Well, because I don't have the money to get a filter.
But you're also
and I have to drink tap water.
But not just that. Depending on what toothpaste you buy, there's large amounts in there. Depending on what.
I don't swallow toothpaste.
It doesn't matter. That's the fastest way to get something into is right through your mouth, dude. That's why you just throw a tab of acid on your tongue and let it sit there.
No, I understand. I just from my own experience, like I don't feel calcified or I don't feel like a walking zombie. And
you're not. And that's not what I'm saying.
I want all, like, I have a propensity to believe the bigger, the thing that, like,
the conspiracy theory.
No, I don't. I mean, you don't want to couch it like that even, but like I want to believe I have an inclination to believe that people deceive. And like
for profit.
Yeah, for profit. But like, and there are so many things that validate that we can point to in history.
Yeah.
Kennedy assassination, the Gulf of Tonkin.
Totally.
All of these really, really deceptive things that like people did. So like but then you start. You got to have some. I feel you got to have some discernment and be able to like kind of. Because like then you get into like chemtrails and then you start and then before you know it you're like posting flat Earth posts and like and fucking everything's a lie, man, everything's a fucking lie, and it's just like
you can't. No, hold on one second. You can't absolutely go down the rabbit hole. That's not what I'm saying. But there's a lot of things that are true and that come out all the time that if you're fucking crazy talking about that, oh shit, turned out to be true.
No, it's true. Yeah,
and there's large corporations, the chlorine manufacturers, the fucking pesticide manufacturers, all these guys did a really good job getting that stuff into our food through lobbying and I believe poisoning the fuck out of us. You know what I'm saying? I heard you make the argument earlier that you were talking about that veganism isn't purely
cruelty-free.
Cruelty-free, and that's right. There's no such thing. If you would have to fucking starve to death to be cruelty-free.
Or just like grow your own vegetables all the time. But even then, we don't know if we're...
Isn't that what you were talking about when you said
But what I'm saying is, let's talk about the human condition. What I'm saying is...
confused on what you meant by cruelty-free.
Because I was relating it to the point that when you buy like commercial grains and wheat, that like they harvest those with these big combines that roll through the fields, and a lot of like rabbits and little rodents and deers, because baby fawns rest in those fields because it keeps them away from predators because they're high. Right. And vultures have even learned to circle the combines before they steamroll through because they know they're going to get
no one's saying that.
So my thing was just like, how cruelty free is your lifestyle? Like, because like by purchasing those products you contribute to that thing. Just like,
Sure, but what if I would buy from my local farm?
Absolutely, and that's the thing too. But again, we're not. But more science is coming out on that. We're learning that plants feel.
Absolutely.
And so like.
But we have to eat. We have to survive.
That's what I thought you meant when you said.
Oh.
And that's where I thought you were, because truly you can't cause no suffering.
Exactly, and I believe that. Exactly, and that's why I don't have any problem eating meat, because I understand.
To give to somebody who doesn't eat meat, though.
So let me reel this in real quick. So
what?
To say that. How is that not causing harm?
Well, because a lot of people are ethical vegans, and they will stand on that soapbox and tell you like eating the bag of corn chips that their lifestyle causes no harm. Whenever that's
you're talking about a talker versus a doer.
Or somebody who does both, because you can talk and do.
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to be better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think you might want to be better, but I don't know if everybody wants to be better. I know a lot of people who don't want to be better.
I think the people that are on the path are trying to be better.
Yeah,
I really
absolutely.
do feel that way.
Yeah.
I feel that people, once they get the awareness, it's hard not to. Once you have the awareness of what is, you can't be unaware of it anymore.
True, but you could also still not give a shit.
You could not give a shit.
It's hard.
And that's the whole...
Because there are moms with kids who don't give a shit about their kids. And that kid is an everyday representation of your responsibility and your connection.
Well, not to mention society has taught us to stop giving a shit and don't give a shit and don't buy into it and do all these things, when really it's...
You have to.
Preach. Go on.
I don't want to preach anymore.
It's a podcast. What's for?
But it's just... I don't know. It's disheartening.
Yeah, well, what I was thinking about was the pesticide thing. Like that's the biggest one. They put all this pesticide. God, I'm starting to sound stupid.
In what though? Like in the water?
No. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. I was talking about with the chlorine, and not the chlorine. The God damn it,
fluoride.
I forget
Fluoride.
the fluoride. Forget it. I'm done.
No, but I do agree that this is like how my mind makes sense of it. Is like I'm not sure I buy into the idea that there's this like evil conglomeration that is knowingly like trying to destroy the world. I'm not sure I believe that, but I do believe that there are a lot of people who want to make money who are willing to do a lot of evil shit in order to make that money, and that there are institutions that have been thriving on things that poison this world, and they're so used to that money that no one wants to lose it. I totally get that.
Not to mention we've been consuming it for very cheap, and we don't want to lose it either.
Yeah, no.
Therefore, we're going to continue to not give a shit.
Yeah, no, it's tough. It's tough. I mean, we all like every one of
10-year break.
10-year break.
10-year break.
But that's the thing, like
that's what
10-year break. 10-year break, man. We need We need a 10-year break for babies. The first thing we need, and if they do nothing else, we need a 10-year break from fishing. Let the ocean heal. Most of our oxygen comes from there. Stop it. Stop it right now. Let the oceans heal. Clean up all the plastic. Let's take 10 years and clean up our fucking mess, and then we can decide what was right and what's wrong and which one of these problems actually exist. But there's a fucking lot of them out there.
Oh, yeah.
And we're not touching any of them. 10-year break.
Back and forth about who's right and who's wrong. And you know what? It doesn't fucking matter who's right and who's wrong. All we have to do is look on the ground outside. And you can see what the fuck is wrong.
Consuming isn't wrong.
It's disgusting.
On that level, we
Everybody
have to consume
needs
ethically.
to stop buying shit. Period.
Yeah,
Just
totally.
stop shopping. Save your fucking
Yeah.
money, man. You guys work
But
hard for it.
but it's easy. It's easy to thing to say, but what about what?
It's an easy thing to do, too.
But what do
Trust
you?
me,
But
I'm
what do
trying.
you? But
I'm
what?
doing it
Yeah, but
every
what,
day.
But what do you tell the single mom who has 3 kids who only has $50 to spend that week, and those kids got to eat?
Yeah, that's a big problem.
Now tell her what you just said. It sounds.
Yeah.
I will. If she comes in here, I'll tell her.
But
Let's
it's
make money and subsidize
Oh
your
no,
income because you don't need to do all that.
Yeah, but with the cards at play,
Yeah.
she's got to do what she's got to do, and we have to understand circumstance, and that not everybody is lazily just wanting to fuck their life up. Like,
no, absolutely. That's the paradox, isn't it?
But when you say it like that, the way that you couched it, like everybody can do it. It's not easy. It's not hard. You can do it. Like, it is hard. It's fucking hard for a lot of people.
What's hard? What exactly are you specifically talking about?
Being able to, on a budget, afford to feed your kids,
ethically.
Ethically,
It's actually cheaper.
Like, if you want to coincide to a certain diet, but like if you don't, then because not everybody wants.
We're specifically talking about an ethical diet.
Because not everybody can eat bananas every day.
I beg to differ with you, sir.
Well, you can. They're sustainable food.
Yeah.
But
It's just a matter of choice. Is all I'm saying. Everybody can do it. It's not hard.
You're right.
You just have to make a choice to do it, man.
Yeah,
maybe that's the hard part, but that's an individual person's thing. It's a matter of setting your mind to something and doing it, creating action for that.
No, I definitely agree that you can always be better. I'm just saying that a lot of people don't prioritize that because they see life from a different. No, they don't. They have different priorities, and in their head, right. Putting a thing of lasagna in the oven that comes out in 30 minutes is easy to hand a couple kids whenever you've worked a 12-hour shift. Like, you got to understand those elements of life.
That's where we grew up.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying, but don't let your ideology get you lost to the idea that there are a lot of people.
Trust me, brother.
This is about change. Yeah. So my ideology,
no.
every third for everybody's listening, free vegetables for this community.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But what if you live in North Vegas and you don't have a car?
Have you been?
What happens then?
Because we're in a food-starved neighborhood. We didn't choose this location.
Yeah, no, I understand
it. There too. Henderson's the second location. Maybe North Vegas will be the third.
And I'm not saying that I'm not saying it's yours or mine or anybody's job to solve the world's problem.
We can do this everywhere, man. Grow vegetables in your backyard and give them to your poor neighbor who has 4 kids next door. Yeah. That's how you do it. You fucking give a shit about your neighbors. You give a shit about yourself and your family, and then you give a shit about your neighbors. Mm-hmm. And if we all do that and start giving a shit, guess what?
Salt.
I don't know that because we all have different wants and we all have different ideas of what is
right. But everybody wants
what is satisfying.
Everybody has the same needs, which is food, shelter, water, and love, right?
Yeah, but there's so many derivatives in how we explore those things and obtain those things, and those things are defined by culture, by experience, and the sum total of who we are.
Absolutely.
And so to veneer it with well, you just got to do it, man. It's just that doesn't work, man, because
it's working.
It doesn't work from the perspective. It works from the perspective of who it touches, it helps, but it doesn't work from the perspective of it can marginalize circumstance. It can marginalize a person's individual circumstance.
Do you know how much better this business would do if I chose another neighborhood?
Well, I'm sure it'd be better. I'm sure that.
Do you know what I'm saying?
In Summerlin, it would be great.
It'd be amazing. It's what they want, right? But I didn't choose that neighborhood because that's not where I need to affect change. Those people are fine.
Yeah.
I'm down here in a neighborhood that's food starved, that needs a thing like this. I'm here for them. I don't care about that golf course across the street, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when you say we have to be the change, I'm not worried about the government anymore. I don't even care what they do. You know what I'm saying? There needs to be a spark. Of change, and I think it's sparking all over the place. I really do.
Oh yeah.
And I think there is a bunch of people trying to do the right thing. So we're going to try to do commerce in a way that makes sense, that can help that single mother. And if you know what, if I help one single mother, that single mother was also my mother. So that's all that matters. You know what I'm saying?
I completely agree. Mm-hmm. I completely agree. I
don't mind being idealistic on this.
Oh, I mean, I understand. It's just, because I look at life from a very, sometimes a very real, a very hard point of view, because I've seen life from those really hard perspectives.
Yeah, man.
And I know that like I embody change. I am change. You know, I
agree with
That's
you.
why I'm confused why you don't believe it.
No, I believe in change.
You don't believe it for everyone.
No, I believe it for everyone. I just know that it is very tough. And it is very hard, and that
you want to give up a lot,
and that I don't have a perspective of anyone who doesn't change, because I understand how difficult it is.
Yeah, man.
Like I could very easily, like, just I mean sometimes I feel daily I could just get like, fuck this, man.
But the whole point is, it's easy to change when you have somebody who's there to support you to change.
Yeah, if you agree on what change is.
No.
If you have different perspectives.
See, I'll go back to I understand what you're saying, right? That we don't have a perspective on what change is. We are just here trying to affect commerce to be done differently.
Yeah, no,
you understand what I'm saying? So if the other person's like, so everybody's got their own thing, so everybody focused on their thing that they want to change. You know what I mean? Even the single mother, even all that stuff, dude. Even the person that has the hardest life focused on what they want to change. Then
absolutely.
Then collectively as people, we come to a new place.
I agree.
Because we can no longer ignore that we have a problem of homelessness. We can no longer ignore these problems. We have to.
No, I don't. And I don't think we ever should have.
But we have, and it's very. We've demonized that group of people. We've demonized and felons and black people and Mexicans and poor white trash, and the demonizing ends. And when people walk through that fucking door of this shop, I want that demonizing to end for every single person, regardless. Once they come in, their actions really do decide whether they get to hang out here or not. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's how it should be. Dude, whatever people are into, they're into. This is our thing, and I think everybody should have their own thing and find what they're doing and do it. You know what I'm saying?
No, I absolutely agree, and I do believe that people are most people are trapped in that. In a certain paradigm of living life on autopilot. You just kind of go to work and you do your thing and you come home and you think you're living life, but you're not really living life. And
you're not giving yourself the chance.
Yeah, and I think that there are a lot of people who are on that, and and I think their diet and and their life and and everything in their life builds that, and I do understand that everybody can change. I do believe everybody can change, and I do believe everybody has that in themselves.
I do understand your point that the diet conversation can become pretentious, and it can become like where, hey, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? I'm just like, leave me alone. I'm just eating my food. I do get that. And we don't really push diet on people. I just want people to, when they choose their food, whatever fucking food it is, choose it the food that is at least done humanely on the best you can. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I agree. I definitely agree. Those things are more expensive.
They are in some places, but guess what? You can go to 7-Eleven right now, and they now have their own organic orange juice. Or the organic label holds some weight in some places and doesn't hold weight in some other places.
And the other thing, besides that bullshit.
Yeah, totally.
Plastic fuck. Farmers markets are all over the place. Literally, they're all over the place.
Those
are expensive.
No, they're way cheaper than the grocery store.
No.
10 times cheaper than the grocery store. They're almost giving it away.
No. Are they along the bus routes?
Absolutely.
Yeah, dude. And
I hear you.
all, as far as I know, all of the schools in the most impoverished neighborhoods have organic gardens in them.
Absolutely. But that's a new thing.
That's
free
cool.
food. It's free food for so.
I mean, I definitely think the world can be better, and I just understand how hard life can be, and I understand that people I understand that people get into a trap of this is the food I eat.
This is what I know.
And this is the job I work at. This is all I know. And this is all I expect.
And this is all my mom did. And
and you get trapped into those things. But everything I live in life is to break people out of that. Because I don't want because I believe I'm nobody special. I'm nobody that special. So if I can, try to create a happiness for myself, then you can do that too, and everybody can do that. I just know that it's going to look different, for everybody, and it might not line up with anything that I think, but I'm okay with that too. I have differences on things that are really interesting. Like I'm pro-gun. I believe guns are cool.
So am I.
But I totally see the logic in why
I'm pro-hunting
people don't.
too. You know what I mean?
I totally see the logic in why people don't.
Yeah, absolutely.
I get it. I totally get it.
Samantha, you say that saying I always get it wrong. An intelligent person. Please say it. The two ideas can hold one idea and the other idea.
Oh yeah, no, I understand that concept.
Can hear an idea without accepting it as his own.
As their own.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I totally like understand the polarity of my own beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
So when I see people who might embody the polarity of my own beliefs, it doesn't bother me. At all, because I like it. I like conversations like this where when you have to put your point on the floor and now you have to prove it. It challenges your beliefs even more. And do you actually believe in this, or are you going to sway? You know what I mean? Or is this other person can present such great fucking evidence that, oh, wow. And really, you shouldn't
You're
be
right.
married
I
to your
totally should have been eating
that's
pesticides. No, that's the only way you grow.
You should never be married.
I always tell people I'm happy to be wrong.
Yeah.
I relish in it.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, because that means I grew. I learned.
And that's,
except for when JR's right. I hate it.
And that's where that religious, that's why I love that religious, like those religious ideologies can be
dangerous.
We see the proof in the pudding with those things.
Totally.
That if you make your identity a part of a belief or a philosophy or something, that you might kill people over it.
Yeah.
Whereas if I have my own independent understanding of myself, I can enjoy a certain aspect of it, and I can be like, whoa, that's kind of fucked up. I don't want anything to do with that.
Yeah, exactly. You need to have hard, strong debate with people, because if you don't, you're never going to grow as a person.
Absolutely.
You need to have your belief systems, and I think I'm regurgitating something Rogan said, but you need to have your belief systems constantly challenged.
Absolutely, and I believe that 100%, because all it's going to do is open you up to new ideas or re-solidify why you believe what you believe. And both of those things are good.
So the reason we brought you was to Amway. No.
We have this list of vector knives.
I love that.
Look, after $2,000 worth of product, your commission is 50%, and we still have to make the knives. Damn it! Yeah. No one's buying knives door to door.
Is Amway still a thing?
I'm sure it's
all
a
thing.
Mary Kay, all of it.
I just talked to somebody that's still in Amway.
What?
People have stores that are Amway stores.
Oh yeah, I knew that. So let me tell you guys a story. I moved to Vegas, and she's already here, and I'm working, I'm hustling, I'm working, trying to find a fucking job. I'm taking every job interview they'll give me, right?
And you guys are married.
We're married.
Okay.
So the quick.
So your fates are intertwined.
Backstory. We're getting out of the army. She comes.
She's like, I'm independently wealthy, separate from him. Our fates are not intertwined.
We're getting out of the army. She's already here, right, to set up housing and stuff like that and get us moving. And I'm transitioning out of the army. I come and I'm taking all these job interviews, and I go to this job interview, and it's a perfume selling thing.
Oh God!
Right, and I show up, and they're like, I'm like, wait a minute, these are those guys that sell perfume out of a trunk.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought this was just a dude. This is a whole thing. Gotta go.
Oh, I've been in some real bad ones, especially since I'm I've done sales my whole life.
Yeah.
That just invites you to be in some weird fucked up bad.
No.
I've gone into job interviews where it'll be like vacuums.
No.
And I'm just like, I gotta get the fuck out of here.
So what is that vacuum? We invited them. Yeah, you can
Rainbow?
come. No, it was a vacuum. They came Kirby. They came in. We'll clean your whole house. We're like, fuck yeah, come vacuum. And see you later. We don't want it. They're like, you're not even here to spiel.
Here's the thing, man. You have there's a payment plan for a vacuum.
You don't need it.
Like a 6-year payment plan.
A 6-year payment plan for a vacuum. You don't need it. Yeah.
No.
Oh, dude,
hey, Mike Kirby is awesome.
I'm not saying they're not good vacuums. They fucking better be goddamn good vacuums for that price.
I love Mike
People
Kirby.
do that with marriages. They pay for their they'll pay for the whole thing over 4 or 5 years.
No, that's what everybody does. It's called credit cards.
Yeah. No, I just mean the people the wedding they'll come up with the figure for you and shit.
And you can get it financed?
Yeah, and you can get it financed.
Ridiculous. I had no idea. That's a real thing?
Yeah.
The fuck out of here.
I have a friend who the fucking payments lasted longer than his marriage.
Wow.
So he got divorced in 2 years, and he had to pay the wedding off for another 3 or 4 years.
No motherfucking way.
Absolutely, it's fucked up, man.
Wow.
How expensive was this?
I went to my.
I think you only paid like $80 a month.
I've gone to some weddings recently.
Still, it's fucked up. You gotta. You every time you make that payment, you're thinking about the shit.
Yeah, I've gone to some weddings recently. We're just like, holy shit. How did they afford this? I know them. I hang out with them. They're my friends. I know they don't have this kind of money.
I feel like that every day of my life. Like, they're just like, I feel that every day. Like, they're just like, we're going to go over here and just to Chicago.
How do you do that?
And like, we're going to go to venison pizza. You want in? And I'm just like, I'm going to go back to my place and put some pork skins into a ramen noodle so I can pretend it's meat. You enjoy that.
So true.
You enjoy that barbecue chicken pizza.
You know what we've done opening up a business? We've committed to being poor.
Oh, dude. I'm hoping the comedy thing at least allows me not to be homeless.
So are you getting paid for gigs at this point?
I do every now and again. I'll get $10 and $20 here and there, and and then the expectation starts to I'm just like, oh, the pressure. But
you definitely have I'm excited. I'm glad we got to talk to you, dude. This is dope. I'm not cutting the show off with that. No, I'm just giving you a compliment.
Yeah.
No, I'm excited to see your development because you definitely have the potential.
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate it because I do love it. But no, and I do give it everything. I do give it.
I can tell, man, and I think you'll be successful. And I think when I try to do stand up, so we started a podcast years ago, and the reason JR and another friend of ours, Dennis and I started it because we wanted to do stand up, and we thought we weren't.
Not really.
Yeah, really.
It started off as we used to go to lunch during work.
That's the second iteration. The first iteration was.
Was it? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
was that show zero?
Yeah, show zero.
Okay.
So the second iteration, we would go to lunch, man, and we'd have these fucking amazing conversations at lunch, and just fucking howl. We'd be laughing so fucking hard.
I had a 6-pack.
Yeah, and so we decided to start a show, and the original show was called Lunch Talks or something fucking stupid.
Lunchbox or something like that.
And it turned out to be the CTSM, which we couldn't figure out a name for the show, so it was Comedy Talk Music Show. So we were underground metal, underground hip hop, and fucking comedians, right? And it was just amazing. We had such a great time. But the original, when I get back to my original story, was we started that to be stand-up comedians, and I did a couple nights. I don't ever think I actually tried to do it, but the first thing I noticed was, holy shit, to do this and do it well, you're gonna have to get hella committed, and you're gonna have to go every fucking night and get up. And so I could tell that you have that.
And that's one of those things. That's a daily.
You got to go.
That's a daily struggle.
Yeah.
It's like, because sometimes I'll be like, because all this is investment. Mm-hmm. There's no everything's in there's no payoff right now.
Right.
This is all my belief in myself.
You got to pay your dues, man.
Yeah, and I get that, and I'm totally.
And then you'll probably find that comedian that brings you up, like they talked about. I hear lots of comedians talk about. Oh yeah, if it wasn't for fucking it's Fred Savage, man.
Yeah.
Really? Wonder Years.
Whatever. But
no, I mean, because I listen to all the comedians' podcasts from Bert to Rogan, to all of them, and they all have the same. I fucking worked my ass off. I slept in my fucking car, and then all of a sudden somebody took me under their wing, and things started happening. But that was 5 years down the line.
Yeah, I'm totally.
You're okay with that journey?
Yeah, my thing is, I already have my life is as meager because the felony thing. I can't get into really any really high. It's. I mean, I could, but it's gonna be kind of I'd kind of have to sell my soul. Mm-hmm. But so my thing is, if I can create a happiness in doing comedy, and even if I only make $15,000 a year, I already do that. I already survive off of that, so it's cool. And I'm going to be doing what I love. I do what I don't like now, and I have to deal with the $15-16 grand. You're telling me I get to do what I love, and I get to get the $15-16 grand.
That's what I'm talking about. That is what it's all about.
I'll fucking take that deal every fucking day.
Fucking A, right.
And that's why I work the way that I do, and I've totally accepted the idea that I'll drive wherever I have to. I'll sleep in my car. I don't care, because all those things aren't uncomforts for me. You're talking about, I showered with naked dudes for many, many days.
Go on.
So sleeping, because some comics will tell you, they'll be like, oh, but if you got into the road, maybe you have to sleep in your car a couple of nights. I'm just like,
yeah.
Oh, really? Sleep in my car? That sucks. That's cool, dude. I don't care. I've got a big car. It's a galore.
Well, you know what?
It even has windows.
Yeah.
I've made a lot of money for a long time now.
Yeah.
I worked my way up. I killed myself. I come from shit. But I still have no problem driving to California and going to see my family, and wherever we end up, because my family have all these cool fucking spots in California with trees. So I have no fucking problem Sleeping out in the car.
Oh no, dude. Like it's I feel like but I love it is the softest pillow you can sleep with. Because anytime I get frustrated in this thing, where like I'm just like, damn, dude.
The dude showers or
no, like the comedy, like, but the dude showers too. But I love it. Like anytime I get frustrated, where I'm just like, dude, you're gonna have to drive like 30 minutes here and then 15 minutes here and then here and here.
Yeah.
Like I'll tell myself like, well, do you not want to do it? And I'll just be like, well, no, I don't. I'm just venting frustration, but I fucking love this. And then you gotta be real with yourself. Right. You're just and one of my biggest things that I'll tell myself lately is I'm just like, so you're gonna quit? And that'll immediately shake me out of that funk. Because I just kind of like, so you're gonna quit? And I was like, no, I'm not. So dry your tears and face your fears, man. Like, let's get this thing going. Let's keep it going. You know? And that's why that's why I connect with you guys and respect this that's where I think our bond comes from, is that we both understand the sacrifices that we have to make in order to be on this individual road of happiness for ourselves. And we've both and from what I've gathered, we've all been in that place where we're not. Yeah. Where we're feeding the system, the cog in the wheel.
It was literally making me sick at the end.
No, I told my sister one time, I was like a month before I quit, I think my third or fourth solar job, and I used to get paid solid money for me. You know, $800 a week. You know,
that's good money for anybody, dude. That's plenty of money to live on, brother.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you can make your rent with 1 week, then it's good money.
Yes, but I remember I would talk to my friends and I'd be like, dude, every time I drive to work, I want to just turn into oncoming traffic because I don't want to get there. And
I was at the point where I was sick all the time, like physically just anxious. So that makes so much anxiety eventually makes you fucking sick. You know what I'm saying? I was always angry, which I don't need much to get angry, so I was always fucking angry and never focused on the people around me, never focused on my loved ones, never focused on my fucking friends.
Or even in the moment.
It would never, because if I was home, I was thinking, well, tomorrow, you know what I got to do? I got to make this fucking list, and I got to fucking do all this fucking work, and I got to get this fucking commissioned, and blah, 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 and never focused on the things that matter.
Oh God. And it's funny how quickly we will trade our peace of mind.
What people do for money.
For money or the promise of an opportunity. Success.
And they just keep hanging that same carrot.
Not even self-gratifying success. But
it's just more fucking zeros in my bank account. It makes
bullshit
nothing.
Idea of success that when you that even though you do what you hate, when you get to a certain number, suddenly you'll feel better. Poor shit. I tried that and it didn't fucking work. I don't care how. And then I figured, well, I'll just spend the money, right? And then I'll feel better about going to work. And I'm like going to Denver and I'm going to WrestleMania, doing all this fun stuff. And then as soon as I'd have to drive to work, I'd be like, but I fucking hate this shit, man. And I feel like a dirt bag. And I'm just like, no, not doing it. Not doing it. And I'm just like, I'd rather be poor again.
Yeah, man.
Poor was better because I had my peace of mind.
Man, I'm proud of you. We don't know each other, but I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you, dude. Fuck the bullshit. Yeah. You're going for it, dude. You're here in Vegas, and Vegas is a tough city to come to where you don't know anybody, because motherfuckers just do their thing, and they're not. It takes a long time. It takes a little while to get yourself into a community of people that you know. Now, luckily, there's a lot of comedians, so you're able to jump into that community. But what I'm saying is, it took a long time for us to even find people we trusted, you know.
Oh God,
and she's fucking from here.
Yeah, I know it's tough because the theme in Vegas is that everybody's here for some shady reason.
Yeah.
That's the theme. Is that
it's the vibe.
Yeah, you're here on the run, or you're chasing some sort of vice or something that you know this place readily offers you, but so that vibe can make people very kind of standoffish to each other. But at the same time, here's the interesting thing, and this is something that I came up with in my own little dealing.
It's 7:18.
Okay. Or
do you have a heart out?
I was 8 o'clock. I have to leave.
Okay.
But I have to do the Asmara open mic, but Justin does that mic, so I can just text him and be like, "Hey, dude, put me on last," and I can show him.
Okay.
I just texted Justin, so I'll be on first.
Oh God, no!
Sorry.
He's gonna be like, the Asmara open mic's gonna crumble if Gabe doesn't.
Justin was supposed to be on the show.
I know, and
so fuck you, Justin.
I know. Well, it's not really against.
No, it's cool. I had no idea how much you could talk. It's amazing. You need your own show. You know what? You need a Bill Burr style podcast. And
right? Oh,
dude, it's not hard. It's not hard. All you need is a phone.
Yeah, I'll eventually I'll get there.
That leads me to, you guys saw me going the other
Yeah, what were you notching over there, lady? I see a calendar.
Yeah, well, you may or may not be familiar with the One Human Stand.
Yeah.
That Happy Earth Market is hosting. It's our hosted.
Oh, shit.
Presents event.
The only person in the 5 founders is allowed to select the One Human Stand.
Ah, cool. So what is this again? One Human Stand.
That's not me.
No, it's Sam. Sam is the only one. Sorry, you can't see me point at her. I forget.
It's where you get to sit or stand for however long you want, and we charge at the door, and
we listen to you.
So you get to do. Let's say you wanted. Do you have an hour?
Right now?
Yeah. How much time do you have? How much?
I have to leave at 8.
No. How much material time do you have? Solid, like you would go up and put it up. Not record.
Oh, you're talking about comedy. Yeah. I would say.
It doesn't have to be comedy. It can be whatever you want.
Story. God, I would.
Gabriel, here's the thing. I love you, man.
Yeah, thank you. I love you guys too.
You're the best.
Because I love you for a lot of reasons. Lots and lots of reasons. Number one, the magic that you bring into the space.
Mm-hmm. Great energy.
On open mic, no, really, you have created repeat customers.
Oh, great.
Because they love the comedy.
Where's Gabriel? They asked last night.
Oh, that's crazy.
So it's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
And it's beautiful, and that's what you've helped bring, because these are people that are keeping this space alive.
Absolutely.
So you're vital for that piece, and I'm grateful for it.
Oh yeah, it's completely it's symbiotic. It's completely symbiotic.
Oh, thank you.
Because I as you as you give, we give, and we share in that in that symbiotic relationship, and that's the way that your cup runneth over, and that's why your cup runneth over, is so that you can fit more in, and then it can cascade onto others, and then we all get to share in this overflow.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, the
preacher coming out in me a little bit.
One human stand.
And that leads me. Well, then that leads me to the second reason why I love you is because when you're up on stage, you do 2 different sets.
Right. Yeah.
Right, and so I'm thinking like maybe the One Human Stand, you can do both sets.
Yeah, and I would say like I could definitely. I mean, if we're doing it like that, I can do 30 minutes of comedy and 30 minutes of like just like straight from the heart.
Let me explain the One Human Stand to you real quick. So
it's a paid event, man.
It's a paid event. We split the door.
Oh, cool.
So you got as many people as you can get in this place.
Yeah.
And we're gonna pump it too through all our networks. And charge. Then Sam and you or whoever they talk about a price, and it's really whatever you want to charge, whatever you feel comfortable with charging for yourself, right?
Yeah, no.
Is it right, Nate? I don't know.
I don't know. Is it? I don't know. Tell me. Sorry.
No, sorry. We'll figure out.
One Human Stand is actually my entrepreneurship.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
That's cool. I'm
so sorry.
And One Human Stand, like what, like because I want to understand my place in it. So describe to me your vision. What are you seeing for this? I want to see what you're seeing.
I want you to do whatever you want to do.
But what is the theme of like this? Like, because
it's Gabriel.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, cool. Oh, okay.
It's your moment to shine and
just express.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Comedy, whatever you want to do. I don't care. I've seen what you've done. I love all of it.
Yeah.
It's a perfect fit.
Yeah,
if absolutely. You got an hour or 2 hours, however long you want. I don't care. We'll put it on the calendar.
Yeah, we'll do it.
People will pay to listen, not just sit, but promote it in a way that people like right now.
We'll make a flyer.
Yeah.
Because we're going to put this episode up pretty soon, I would imagine.
Monday morning, yeah.
So Monday, we can actually put it up.
We have live listeners, and it's going up Monday morning.
We could scribble a date down so people could write it in their calendar on when they can come.
Cool. Are you thinking like a weekend? Is that what you're...
They're usually on Saturdays, yeah.
It'll be in March.
Okay.
All right. Maybe a Saturday or a weeknight or whatever you want.
Yeah, we can do just I mean, the second Saturday of the month.
Not that one.
Okay, the third then. The third.
Third, no. They'll never any third Saturdays.
Did I?
Well, we can do third. We can do totally. Third Saturday works. I like it. Never motherfucking mind.
Why is the second Saturday you guys are doing like the
second Saturday
octopus socks or something?
No, actually, the second Saturday is the One Human Stand featuring Paul Carlin.
Oh, he's very talented. Yes, I like Paul.
So he'll be the Saturday before your Saturday.
Perfect.
17th.
I saw. I actually recorded Paul doing some stuff on Instagram. I got him singing the Weeds intro. That song Little Boxes.
I loved it.
I got him on. I recorded him at.
Can you put me on the 21st then?
Like doing that song, and I was I was just like, man, that's so great, because I love that show, and I got to relive like enjoying that show because of that song.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah, he's a very good artist. I really enjoy Paul. He's very talented. He's very fun to talk to and joke around with. He's got a good sense of humor about himself, which if you're going to be around me, that's vital.
It's important.
It's important. And my thing is always and it's not a thing that I think even holds much water, but it's what I say. I'm just like, but you could say that to me, and I just live with it.
You're okay with it?
I'm good with it. Like, I'm just like, you say whatever you want about me. Like, I have a really good sense of humor about myself. Like, let's share in that.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you on. That's gonna be dope.
Yeah, dude. No, and I can start preparing for it, man. Because I do put a little it's funny, I say that at the place where like I go just ape shit and don't structure anything.
Mm-hmm.
But I need that. Like, you need that space, like for you to, because like it never it starts off as this wild thing in your head, and then you've got to hone it, but you got to let it go crazy.
Totally.
So that you can get its full potential. I can't corral you can't corral your creativity in any way, or else you're going to cheat yourself out of like these really special moments that you create. And that's that space that you guys have created for me, and I fucking love it.
Aww,
and
we love
thank you.
And there's so many polished things that I have now that started as just a simple thing here.
Yeah.
Like absolutely, like one that for sure is like this, all the stuff I do about my grandma now. Like I have like 4 minutes on my grandma.
Nice.
And like all that started here because I didn't really feel comfortable talking about her.
Hey, thank you, by the way, for writing a Happy Earth Market joke.
Oh,
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
You
should tell the joke for the people listening.
Which one?
The Happy Earth Market joke.
Oh yeah, no, okay, yeah, absolutely, no. Then it's not even a joke. It's just the way. It's just my thought process. Like, no, like every time I come here, like a part of me always feels like I'm gonna walk in and like there's gonna be some like hippie like orgy like, going on, and I just can't shake it. There's some sort of like, I think it was the environment, but there's like some sexual energy floating around.
Well, there's a bunch of sexual clubs here,
and I'm just like, man, I feel like that's a part of the thing here. Is just like that's part of the Happy Earth Market. On Tuesdays we get together and we all have sex with each other, and there are no boundaries, man. Like we don't subscribe to these patriarchal like societal confines and relationships. We think beyond that, and we look to the connection that we're all sharing, and we divorce ourselves from those
social construct, man.
Those
just once a week.
Those ego-based fears.
No boundaries Tuesday, bro.
No boundaries Tuesday. I mean, obviously, I'm
come here after Taco Tuesday.
But like, I just remember like the one of the couple of the first times I came here, I had that thought in my head. Like I was looking around and I was just like, that was kind of a long hug. I was like, is that about like? Because I hang out with hippies all the time, so I'm just like, is this just like you're embracing my energy?
Yeah.
And like, or there's like what's going on? And like, so.
Imagine how uncomfortable it is for me. I'm her husband. She hugs everybody that way.
No, I know. And then one time, and I know you noticed because you fucking said it, but you're hugging. I looked over at you, and I was just like making sure that you weren't gonna like give me the eye, like, dude, you better push away from her right now.
You know what?
and then I looked, Sam was just like, we'll turn this way because you're distracted, and I was just like, well, now you're only leading credence to my like orgy thought pattern because like now I'm expected to believe as long as he's not looking, like it's cool, right? Like everything's cool.
I'm not a cuckold.
Oh my god.
Right? And that's why
she does her thing in the other room.
No, I'm just joking. Like we should have established boundaries. Everyone should. I believe in boundaries. I respect. I respect like pair bonding. I totally do. And I don't think it's some like.
Those hugs do heal people though.
They do, and
that's why I'm never angry. Anymore.
Yeah. Like I think like the whole like state endorsed marriage thing is obviously bullshit, and like you don't need the state to endorse your relationship for it to be real.
It used to help your taxes, but not anymore.
But
damn it, Obama.
But separate from that, like I definitely believe in pair bonding and understanding the investment in somebody and the investment in somebody else.
Totally.
And building that and sharing that. And I don't think that's unnatural. Like, and I think as human beings, we go through paradigms, obviously, and in like a hunter-gatherer society, maybe it wasn't as prevalent for you to be so invested into one person. But surely, by the time we got to tribal communities, we all understood and respected the idea of like the family unit and like the pair bonding, like, and that has gone on since then. And we have those, like, I love this term, epinephrine DNA. Mm-hmm. And it's what it is like epinephrine. And epinephrine DNA, and that's just like that your DNA carries these certain traits or
sure, I totally believe in genetic
memories.
Yeah, certain genetic memories.
Absolutely.
And you know, so like, you know, of course we yearn for, you know, that we've cultured our DNA to yearn for it,
to be used to
totally
to be used to it, absolutely. And again, that roots back to that. That's why we're all so fucked up.
Well, they've proven
we're so disconnected.
They've proven that like behavior is something like something percent genetic and something percent environment, and then depending on what environment you're in, your genetic DNA or your genetic will turn on certain things based on what environment you're in. And a lot of that they can trace back to families that they all have this fucking deer in the headlights kind of gene because they're all in the same trauma or they're all in the same happiness. And it doesn't matter. It all just turns on the same thing based on the environment.
It's a trip. And when I read about it more, like you start to see like how it really does play a role in like kind of like the way we might fit into certain roles in our life.
Totally.
Like I might buy into like a certain role about me, but that's because like maybe like the history has always played that role. So like, you know, and that maybe my stage presence, whereas I don't lock up and get scared on stage. Maybe, you know, like in a tribal community, my family always fucked up, so like they always had to like address the community. They're just like, all right, because you know that's what like that's why we have stage fright, is because the epinephrine genetics is that in tribal communities the only time you had to address the community
is when you were in trouble.
When you were in trouble and you fucked up and you had to explain why they shouldn't cast you out. So of course you're going to be nervous when you have to do that. And like I just assume that like my people always fucked up and they always had to explain themselves. And they're like, Look, Gabriel Tartarus, get your ass up here again. We're fucking you.
Gabriel Tartarus. That is a great name.
Tartarus. You were eating the eggplants before they were ripe. How is anyone supposed to have eggplants now? Explain yourself. And then I just do this thing, and they're just like, he's a good guy.
Oh, he made it funny.
He made it funny. Let him back in. We didn't really need those eggplants anyways, right?
Who the fuck likes eggplants?
I actually like eggplants.
Eggplants are fine. They take on the taste of anything else with them.
They're real mushy. I like how mushy they are. If I don't like it if they're just like if they have an outside crispy crust. Then they're good. If you can give them a good.
I do like deep fried eggplant.
Yeah, like a deep fried eggplant.
But I like deep fried I like deep fried shit too. So
deep fried most things is good. Crispy outside.
And deep fried anything.
Yeah, that's why fries are. You know, anytime you can have that contrast of taste or flavors or textures. Everybody loves them.
We're going to French Fry Town.
Like Taco Bell's been doing that thing where they have those nacho fries, and I can't, and I hate, I see it.
I love nacho fries.
No, because it's fucking poison. But but a part of me is just
carne asada nacho fries at Roberto's are the behold.
No, he's talking about the Taco Bell one.
The Taco Bell. It's these little box of fries, and they're $1, so you know people are just gonna go crazy for them. And because fries,
we are not sponsored by Taco Bell. By the way.
Yeah, fuck Taco Bell. No, seriously, they're assholes. And no, they are. Like, fuck them. They make shit food. So it's $1, and
at least it's only like 5% beef.
Yeah, but I mean,
at least.
But but if it was 100% beef, it'd honestly be healthier for your digestive system than what it is, because it's like a mixture of like plant material that's like. Probably
straight up GMO.
Well, you know, also the beef that they
send with pesticides,
herbicides,
larvicides. Oh yeah, no,
hormones. But the beef they do send to Taco Bell is dehydrated. They rehydrate it when it gets there.
Oh, see that?
It's in a little packet.
Just add water.
Just add water. I'm not fucking with anything that says just add water. I really, and you know what I was like. You know, because I do have conflicting views, and like I'm a bit of a walking contradiction. Like I can stir up people because they're like, "Oh, you're a hippie guy. You're right on my team with all these issues," and then I'll just be like, "But I think this curveball," and they're just like, "No, why do you believe that? You can't believe this and then believe that. It doesn't make any sense." I'm just like, "But I do." I'm mind fucking you right now.
Yeah.
But like, it's true because I do hold a lot of conflicting beliefs. So like, sometimes it's fun to like you know, like the veganism, because most people I hang out with are very healthy. But I'm a healthy eater. Like I cook. I mostly cook food. Like I don't really buy too much because it's cheaper and it's healthier and like morally cheaper. But yeah, that too. Like way cheaper. Like what I like to do is like I love baked chicken, man. I love baked chicken. What I'll do is I'll take some baked chicken. I'll cut up like cuts of sweet potato because that is a healthy like carbohydrate.
Your Texan came out.
Yeah.
Your Texan came out there.
Potato.
Potato? Yeah, it does a little bit. I'm still in Texas. And so like I'll put the sweet potatoes on there. Potatoes. And like Paula Deen, I'm just like, and then I'll deep fry them in glazed donuts. You're just like, well, that's not healthy. But like I'll have like the sweet potatoes with like Brussels sprouts like baked with the chicken like as a centerpiece.
Yeah, make it pretty.
Yeah, dude, and I'll cave, man. And like I won't even have like a plate. Like I'll just put it on the stove and like I'll walk over and be like, as I'm watching TV in my little studio, grabbing like pieces. Like I'm not gonna dirty up a dish. There's no point. I already have this pan right here.
We kind of do that at home.
Oh no, I'm real big on like not like if I don't have to like if I oven bake a pizza, like I'll just eat it off the box. Like this is a perfectly good box.
I do that too.
We eat right out of the pan on the stove.
Well, I love that. That's great stuff. I do that like.
We don't have a dining room table though. That's part of the reason why we don't.
Oh, okay. I don't have a dining room.
And we have a mini fridge.
That's better though, because that takes you away from that like Western idea of like I gotta buy $150 worth of groceries.
Totally forces you to
It forces you to eat the food, or else you can't get more.
No, and that's what I do. I buy like I buy mostly like ground beef and chicken and fruits and vegetables, and that's pretty much what I eat. And like it's got like a beef shell. I just said the chicken. I thought that was a double entendre. Cow, chicken, it works. I try to do my. Like, occasionally, I do get the fuckets though. Like I said, I do get the fuckets where I'm just like, fuck this, man. Like I'm gonna go get some fucking apple pies, dude.
Yeah.
Like I want them. Or when the grocery store is like, fucking fuck me over, man. Like Albertsons lately, what they've been doing, the bastards. Like on Fridays, which was yesterday, and luckily I didn't go in there. They put like this bakery thing, and there's all these baked goods for $1.
Oh.
And they have these pans of like 4 cinnamon rolls that are doused in icing for $1. How am I? Like I'm not made of stone, damn it!
Yeah.
Like now, like I won't even go.
Smoke a lot of weed.
Yeah, and now I won't even go in there. Like on days that I know that they're doing that, like I won't even go in there to shop because like I will buy one of those cinnamon rolls.
You not?
And then like. And it's sad because like I'll eat the whole like I'll be like, well, Gabriel, we'll have 2, and then tomorrow you'll have 2 more, and you'll spread it out. But I'll eat the whole pan, and like one of them in the middle of my sleep. And this is the truest thing you'll ever hear. Like the pan, like there'll be like a cinnamon roll like there, and like I'll be asleep on my bed, and like I have an ottoman that I keep stuff on and I eat on because I'm like, a disgusting person. And so the cinnamon roll's right there within arm's reach, and like I'll be asleep and I'll wake up and I'm like. Oh shit! And I'll just lay back down, and I'll even finish the cinnamon roll. I'm like a savage. Like, and you know what? I think it's because my conscious mind can't stop me. Like, it's just it's just that like primal urge, and it's just like sugar, caveman,
addiction, man.
It is. It's bad. Oh. And dude, that sugar addiction shit is real. Because like I'll get like, because again, I buy like fruits and vegetables, and I'll go a day, and that next day, man, like I'll literally be driving my car, and like I'll turn and Checkers will be right here, and I'm just like, and it's just like my body does it, and I'm just in the parking lot suddenly, and I'm just like, dude, you didn't even want to come here, and then suddenly I'm walking out with food, and I'm just like, god damn it, but it's gonna be great.
Dave, let me stop you right there. It's been a great show.
Awesome.
I have a few post-production things to do before you leave, so we only have a few more minutes.
Absolutely, brother.
Anything you want to plug real quick before I shut off the live feed?
Yes, I'm going to be at Classic Jewel. I'm going to be doing a show there on February the 15th with Evan Fonfa. Check me out.
Nice.
And past that, I'll be going to be doing the week later. After that, that Thursday, the 22nd, I'm going to be doing Karaoke, which is at Thunderbird Lounge, which is like a karaoke comedy show.
Fun.
Yeah, so those are kind of my dates for February. And check me out if you on Instagram and Twitter at Castillo Comedy. Both of them at Castillo Comedy.
Nice.
I could use all. That's CASTILLOCOMEDY. One word, Castillo Comedy. Twitter and Instagram. I need all the love I can get. Bookers do look at Twitter and Instagram numbers when they take bookings into consideration. Really? Yes, they do.
No, that's 100% true.
So, like, please.
Go buy some follows.
I take all the pity follows. All the follows. You can unfollow me if you want to. Just leave me, just let me have the number, please.
And podcast listeners, you heard the man. Please go support.
No, I'm just joking. I really just want to do this because I love you guys, and I wanted to get a little bit. I enjoy getting a little bit of like my story out to people, so that people can take inspiration, and I can also ego feed myself. So I love it, and I love you guys, and I love what you're doing here, and I will. And you have all of my.
Your March.
Absolutely.
March 17th.
March 7th.
March 17th. One man stand.
One human stand.
Oh, okay, I get it.
More to follow.
Can I do it a one non-binary gender?
Yes. We'll just stick with human.
We'll just stick with human.
Okay. One human stand. We're gonna have a great time. It's gonna be awesome. You're gonna get a little bit of comedy and then a little bit of my own personal story and an interesting mix that I'll put together. And absolutely. And I love you, Sam. I love you, Nathan. I love you guys.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Love you, everybody listening. Nick.
All right. Peace.